Imagine this, you wake up and the first thing you hear isn't traffic. It's not your neighbor's dog, or a garbage truck. It's the sound of 1,000 angry gods trying to smash their way into your kitchen. That's the ocean. It's your front yard. It's your backyard. It's your only neighbor. And it never ever shuts up. You're living on a rock, a concrete pillar sunk into the seabed, miles from anything that resembles civilization, the tower you call home. So, what exactly does a lighthouse keeper do all day? It's not just sitting in a comfy chair reading a book and flipping a switch when it gets dark. Not even close. The main responsibility, the one that trumps all others, is to keep that light burning, no matter what. That single beam of light is the difference between a ship full of sailors making it home to their families and a shipwreck scattered across the rocks below. The lens, a magnificent and fragile beast made of countless glass prisms, is your top priority. It has to be cleaned and polished every single day, without fail. Salt spray and condensation are its mortal enemies. You're up there with soft cloths and cleaning solutions, meticulously wiping every single facet. The light's life depends on your steady hand and unwavering attention. Life in a lighthouse is a constant battle against the elements, and trust me, the elements don't fight fair. We're talking about sea-level hurricanes, tempests that shake the very foundations of your stone tower. The wind shrieks like a banshee, making it impossible to stand upright outside. Waves the size of office buildings crash against the tower with freight train force. Middle of a blizzard, the sea a churning mess, and suddenly the light sputters and dies. The silence that follows is more terrifying than the storm. Grab your tools, climb out onto the narrow gallery in gale-force winds, fingers numb with cold, wind trying to rip you from your perch. You have to get that light working again. Let me paint you a picture. It's a Tuesday, or maybe a Wednesday. You check the barometer. The needle dropped like a stone. You did your rounds, double-checking the storm shutters. By dusk, the storm hit. The first wave was a monster. It didn't just crash against the base, it exploded. You felt the impact in your teeth. The whole tower shuddered, pots and pans rattled in the kitchen. Suddenly, a new sound cuts through the chaos. A high-pitched metallic screech from the lantern room above. Every step up is a battle. The tower sways, like climbing a ship's mast in a hurricane. In flickering lamplight, storm inches away, you go to work. The grinding stops, the great light keeps its silent sweeping turn. You've done it. You know, lighthouses aren't just buildings, they're monuments. Take the Pharaohs of Alexandria, for example, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Built around 280 BC, it was one of the tallest man-made structures of its time and stood for over 1,500 years. A polished mirror reflected sunlight by day and a fire burned at night. Now jump forward to the coast of France, Cordouan Lighthouse, the Versailles of the sea. First lit in 1611, more than a navigational aid. A palace, a king's apartment, a chapel, ornate carvings throughout, then the grit. Eddystone Lighthouse off Cornwall, built and rebuilt 4 times. The third, Smeaton's Tower. A marvel, interlocking granite blocks like a puzzle. And the mystery, Eileen Moore, Flannan Isles. December 1900. A passing ship noticed the light was out. Relief crew found the lighthouse deserted. The 3 keepers had vanished without a trace. To this day, no one knows for sure. What kind of person willingly signs up for a job like this? It's not for everyone, that's for sure. You have to have a specific set of skills and a very particular personality. First and foremost, you need to be a jack of all trades. Or more accurately, a master of many. Mental toughness is just as important as technical skill. You have to be psychologically resilient. The solitude can crush people. You need to be comfortable with your own thoughts for very, very long periods. You must have the discipline to stick to a routine, even when there's no one there to tell you what to do. The lives of countless sailors depend on your diligence. You have to be the kind of person who takes that responsibility personally. This sense of duty is what gets you out of your warm bed in the middle of a raging storm. It's what drives you to polish that lens until it gleams every single day. Finally, you need a certain respect, maybe even a love for the sea. It's a strange and rare combination of traits for a strange and rare kind of job. The isolation of a lighthouse keeper is a special kind of alone. It's not just being by yourself, it's a profound separation from the rest of humanity. Your only regular visitors are the supply boat, which might come once a month or even less. Weather permitting, you measure time not by clocks or calendars but by the turning of the tides and the changing of the seasons. Your world becomes the tower, the rock it stands on, and the endless expanse of water and sky. You learn to find company in small things. The way the light plays on the water books become your closest friends. The radio, crackling with voices from far away, is a lifeline to a world you're no longer part of. Many keepers took up hobbies that could be done in small spaces like wood carving or building ships in bottles. These weren't just ways to pass the time, they were essential tools for keeping the mind occupied. The world changes and so do the jobs in it. The role of the traditional lighthouse keeper is, for the most part, a thing of the past. The culprit? Automation. Starting in the mid-20th century, lighthouses began to be automated sensors, timers, remote monitoring equipment replaced human presence. GPS and other electronic navigation systems. Modern supertankers have a dozen navigation systems, so a lighthouse is often just a backup. Today, most lighthouses are fully automated. A remote central control center can monitor dozens of lights at once. But something has been lost. An automated light doesn't have a soul, so are there any keepers left? A few, yes, they don't live the life. The era of the solitary keeper is all but over. Even though the job of the lighthouse keeper has mostly disappeared, our fascination with them has not. Why is that? I think it's because the lighthouse keeper represents something we all admire, something we worry we're losing in our comfortable, connected world. The lighthouse itself has become a powerful symbol. It stands for hope, a light in the darkness. It represents guidance, safety, and a safe harbor. In a world that often feels chaotic and uncertain, the image of a lighthouse standing firm against a raging storm is incredibly comforting. The legacy of the keepers lives on in the structures they cared for. Volunteers and preservation societies work tirelessly to maintain them, to keep the lenses polished and the stories alive. They've become museums and even unique bed and breakfasts, allowing people to experience a tiny taste of what that life was like. We can learn about duty, about taking responsibility for our small corner of the world. The spirit of the keeper, that steady, reliable, and utterly dependable presence in the dark, is a legacy worth remembering. And it's a dirty job I'm glad someone did.